Perimeter is the distance around the outside of an object. You can find perimeter by adding up the length of one side, the width of another, the length of the next, and the width of the next. That is, you can add up all four sides to find the distance around the outside of the object to find the perimeter. Area is the number of square units inside the object, and we can find that by multiplying the length times the width. To be clear what length and width are, length is always going to be the longest side of the object, and the width is always going to be the shortest side. So you can see it does not matter which direction those are. It does not matter how the object is turned, the shortest side will always be the width, and the longest side will always be the length. So here we're going to add up the perimeter. We're going to add up the sides to get to the perimeter. So you can see that both of these sides are 3 units. Both these sides are 5. And the way that we know that is simply counting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you imagine yourself walking along the edge, the perimeter of this rectangle, you would walk 3 units, then 5 units, then 3 units, then 5 units. So to find the complete distance that you walked, you would just have to add those up. So length plus width plus length plus width. Now let's go ahead and try to find out what is the perimeter. What that's really asking is how many units distance around the rectangle. So we add them up. 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, which is 16. The way that I found that, I could have done it several different ways. What I did was 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 5 is 13, plus 3 is 16. You could also do 5 plus 5 is 10, and 3 plus 3 is 6. So those two together would be 10 and 6, which is 16. But that's up to you. So we found by adding up all 4 sides that the perimeter is 16. Now, with perimeter, we can do this with any kind of shape as long as we know the length of each side. So we have a triangle where all 3 sides are 5. So the perimeter would be 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 15. It does not even have to have all the same sides. In this case, we have a triangle that's 3 plus 4 plus 5. So our perimeter is 12. In fact, it doesn't even have to be a regular shape like the ones you're used to seeing. It could be something like this. Of course, this is a whole lot of sides to add up, but you certainly could do it. So let's do it. 5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 8. In this case, I've started here. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17, plus 8 is 25. For area, you want to find the number of square units inside the object. So that would be the difference. Perimeter is the outside and area is the inside. So just like when you do an array, I don't know if you noticed that looks a lot like an array. You can actually do multiplication by aligning these up. So we have 6 across and we have it 3 times. So that's 6 3 times. 6 times 3. So when we're asked what is the area, what we're really asking is how many units are inside the rectangle? Well, the answer is 6 times 3. It's 6 3 times. Could I just count it up? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. But it might be a lot easier to just multiply it. 6 times 3 is 18. I could do that by skip counting. If I put up 6 fingers and I count by 3s for each finger, that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Or I could do 3 fingers and count by 6s. 6, 12, 18. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We could look at this as 6 3 times, Or we could look at this as 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. That's up to you. So we find our answer is 18. Now, a question you might be asking is, if I can do perimeter with all kinds of shapes, can I do the same with area? The short answer is yes. The long answer is, it is much easier to do area with rectangles and squares than it is with any other object. So while we can find the area of those, I don't expect you to do that yet. You'll learn all about how to find the area of triangles and parallelograms and all sorts of other kinds of shapes in later grades. For now, I'd really like you to get familiar with what area means in the context of a square or a rectangle like this one. Remember, all you have to do to find area is multiply the length times the width. And all you have to do for perimeter is add up each side. Length, width, or in the case of a triangle, it's going to be this side plus this side plus this side. Or in the case of this crazy shape that I have no idea what I would call it, just each side. This one plus 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 this one. As long as you've got all the sides and you haven't counted one side more than once, you're good to go. All right, I hope this helps.